Hello and welcome back to our channel, How We Move the Decimal, and I promised an after camp check-in. So, we just got back from camp. By the time you're watching this, we've been back for quite a while, but we just got back from camp, and I pulled out a couple things I wanted to really talk about. I did talk about how I am a massive overpacker, so I wanted to also talk about that. So, I did change out bags. If you do remember, I originally had like a blue IKEA bag knockoff. I ended up using my husband's Boy Scout hiking bag here. It is just an old JanSport bag from the early 90s. It really does need washed. We don't think it's ever been washed, but it is quite dingy. But I ended up using this and it worked really well. I also ended up using the bug tent, which I'm so glad I did. We were in cabins that were missing a wall. So I liked having the bug tent. It made it nice for me. Bug tent, great. Highly recommend. I talked about taking a whole bunch of chargers and I was worried about running out, which is right because with this, I took 4 of these and 2 of these, and I ended up using all but 1 of these. So I did need that. We had plug-ins at lunchtime, but we were only there for 20 minutes, so I didn't get a lot of charge. I did not actually charge my phone anytime there. I just charged my external battery packs while waiting. This is an unsung hero here. This is a little lamp we got at Target. It is great. It lit up the entire chaperone part of our cabin. I highly recommend little tiny lamps. It worked amazingly. And it had a hook in the back so I could hang it from the inside of my bug tent. Other unsung hero here was my soccer mom hat. Just an off-brand soccer mom hat, but ticks were really, really bad at camp. In the first 24 hours, we probably pulled 70 plus ticks off people at camp. And I will say, if I go to camp again, which in 3 years I could with my daughter, if I go to this camp again, a lot of stuff I would do very differently. I would keep food rations in my car. They incredibly limited us on the food, and the food was not great, and there's no options. I've been to camps before. This is my first time at this camp. I had been to camps before where the options were small, but there were options. So for this, every meal you ate whatever they gave you, and there usually was one side. There was never dessert. The only thing you could drink was water. To give an example, one of the nights I was there, they served tacos, which were great, but they only served 1 taco per person, and it was a smaller soft-shelled taco, less than 10 inches, 1 scoop of meat, 1 scoop of cheese, and that was it. So you had 1 small taco, and I was with a group of 12-year-old boys that were starving. I ended up rationing my own food to give my son more food to eat. But I saw my car several times in the parking lot, so I think if I do this again, I will be putting extra food in my car for myself to eat, if nothing else, because I was incredibly hungry by the end of every day, to the point that I was making myself nauseous because I was giving my child my food so he wouldn't go hungry, and that was probably the most disappointing part of camp. The other parts of camp, we did kayaking. We loved that. But I'm hesitant to say the name of the camp, and I probably won't, just for the fact that I don't have a great positive view of this camp. Again, though, if my daughter wants to go when it's her time, we will go, but I will come more prepared. There was 1 shower room for the entire camp. Mind you, we had 100 children and 28 chaperones, so we had 128 people there with 1 shower room area that had 5 showers for the entire camp. Normally there would have been 2 other shower houses, but they were both closed, and the shower house we were in left a lot to be desired. I was expecting the primitive toilets at our campsite, so that was not, that was neither here nor there. But they didn't provide enough toilet paper, so I would have probably left some toilet paper in my van also. The campsites and cabins themselves were better than I expected. They were primitive, but they were put together well. They held up well during the 2 storms that happened there, so I'm not a huge issue with that. My main issue was the food. They did serve a lot of food that it was even hard for me as an adult to eat, and a lot of the children did not eat. There was a god-awful meal of canned chicken and cream of chicken soup on a bun that nobody ate. Like, everybody was throwing it away, and the children that day, it was a lunch meal, and the children that day literally ate an apple, and they were hiking 17 miles on an apple. So I was quite disappointed with the food. Otherwise, it was camp, but as my son said when we were coming home, we camp a lot. Camp is not a novel thing for us. And he prefers several other spots we go to camp at. And he was like, yeah, it was fun, but I didn't do anything we don't do when we camp. And I didn't do anything I don't do when I go to scout camp. So, 6-1, I don't know if I would do it again. Well, if my middle child wants to do it, we'll do it because her brother had a chance to do it. But it's still not something that I'm like, oh, wow, okay. I can't wait to do it again in 3 years. Luckily, my friend who went with me this time will also be going again in 3 years with her daughter. So we'll have that. But it'll be a thought process. If they do it again, there was some issues going on with the camp while we were there that they may not do it again. So we will see. I will say I used all 8 pairs of socks, all 8 pairs of underwear. I used 5 t-shirts, 3 pairs of pants, 4 pairs of shorts. I used my raincoat twice. And my raincoat was a raincoat, but wasn't that great of a raincoat. It did not get a chance to dry overnight, so when I put it on again, it was already pretty wet the next time around, and it didn't work as well as it should have. I did use both pairs of my shoes in there, both wet and muddy. I ended up going back to my car and getting my sweatshirt that I'd worn to camp out because I was very cold in the morning. So I used all 4 of my long sleeve shirts, and I went back to my car and got my sweatshirt. I used all of the clothes I brought. All of the clothes were dirty. I will say, next time I do this, if I do this in 3 years, I am not bringing any jean shorts. I'm just going to bring the bicycle shorts. They were 100 times better and easier to hike in, and I didn't sweat as much in them. I'm used to hiking in hiking shorts and jean shorts, but if I do this again, I'm just going to bring bicycle shorts and leggings. I'm not going to bring jeans or jean shorts. That was one of my downfalls. Otherwise, it was pretty good. I packed way too many shower supplies for myself and my son. My son showered once, and I showered twice there. So we packed way too much. I packed 2 bottles of body wash for him and a full travel size bottle of shampoo. I don't even think he made enough to make, like, you can't even tell that he used any shampoo out of that. That being said, when it'll just go back in our toiletry bag for our next trip, which is in 4 days. So we got back from camp yesterday. We are leaving in 4 days. But by the time you've watched all of this, we're back from everything. So that's not a huge deal. Way overpacked on toiletries. And I know that I way overpacked on sunscreen, but I didn't have a smaller bottle to bring. So I bought a full-size bottle of sunscreen, full-size bottle of bug spray. I could have done travel next time if I could find them. Otherwise, I brought my action camera. I did not use it once. I could have left that at home, but I just didn't have a chance to use it, so never used the action camera. I think that's all. Definitely the hat was a lifesaver, especially going without a shower for long periods of time. And if anything, I would have brought more bicycle shorts and no jean shorts and more leggings. So thank you for watching my video, and I hope you stay tuned and watch some more.